Today on Good Morning Maine, a 5-hour-long standoff occurred on Saturday in Lewiston after a man refused to submit to arrest on the accusation of murder. Plus, a head-on collision on Route 1 in Sullivan took the life of one and sent another to the hospital via lifelight. And a pro-Palestine rally in Bangor gathered dozens of people advocating for peace on Friday. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for tuning in this morning. We have a lot of stuff to get to after the weekend, so let's get a first check at that forecast with Devin Biggs to start things off.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. As we get into things this morning, we have advisories posted. This is a gale watch here and a small craft advisory both posted along the coast, lasting until 4 p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday. Gusty winds will make the ocean very active moving forward, so we'll want to be careful along the ocean areas as we do move forward. Radar and satellite, some clouds moving through this morning. A mixture of clouds and sunshine will be common to start things off. We'll be watching out for even more cloud cover as we head towards the afternoon period. As we do zoom things out, though, we have an area of high pressure just off to the north. But despite that, though, we are still watching for some clouds that are developing this morning. Some precipitation off toward the west, but for now, we are staying dry, at least in the short term. So increasing clouds will be common throughout the daytime period today, with rain showers, maybe a few snow showers to the north possible overnight tonight as we head towards early tomorrow morning. So we'll be watching for some precipitation that will be moving in by that point. On top of that, watching out for a little bit of wind from time to time. Not so much today, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight and parts of tomorrow, some winds up to 15, even 25 miles per hour will be common in a few areas. So for today, lower 40s and a mostly cloudy sky with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, increasing clouds on the way, temperatures warming into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Route 1 was closed to traffic for hours on Saturday night after a head-on collision in Sullivan at about 4:40 p.m. claimed the life of a Steuben man and required the assistance of Lifelight to save another. Police report that when first responders arrived on scene in the area of the RSU 24 building, they found 26-year-old Dakota Zablotny had died at the scene as a result of his injuries that he sustained in the crash. Hancock County Sheriff's Department reports that Zablotny was traveling west on Route 1 in Sullivan at a high rate of speed. He had been passing vehicles when he lost control of his own vehicle, crossing the center line and causing his vehicle to rotate 90 degrees. This caused an oncoming vehicle to be unable to avoid Zablotny, hitting his car in the center of the passenger side. The driver of the second vehicle, 41-year-old Ryan Gordon of Hancock, had serious but not life-threatening injuries in the form of a compound fracture to the leg and was taken to the Northern Light Hospital in Bangor by Lifelight. The ultimate cause of the crash remains under investigation by the Hancock County Sheriff's Department. A Lewiston man was arrested on a murder charge after a multi-hour standoff with police on Saturday. 36-year-old Jerry Thibodeau of Lewiston is accused of killing 40-year-old Anthony Ayotte Friday night. Police say they arrested Thibodeau at a residence on Sabattis Street after an active 5-hour-long standoff. According to the Maine State Police, he initially refused to leave the home but was taken into custody without incident shortly after 10 p.m. Authorities believe the two men knew each other and that Thibodeau dropped off Ayotte at St. Mary's Hospital in Lewiston, where he died of his injuries. Thibodeau was taken to the Androscoggin County Jail, and police say he will make an initial court appearance today at the Androscoggin District Court. A single vehicle crash resulted in substantial damage outside a building in Bangor on Sunday. The driver was traveling along Union Street in Bangor when they veered off of the road, crashing into propane tanks and a propane-powered generator outside the Versant building. The driver only sustained minor injuries and the building itself was relatively unscathed. However, there was substantial damage outside the property between Versant and Bangor Self-Storage.
We went and tried to detect for gas. There was no leaks. We did secure the tanks to prevent any leaks through the lines. But it is a lesson, it is a good point to make that when you're driving, focus on the road.
The crash took place around 1 p.m. and police say the driver was the only occupant. According to the Bangor Police Department, the driver was issued 2 citations failure to maintain control of a motor vehicle, and operating a motor vehicle while using a handheld device. 2 people were arrested for suspected drug trafficking after police found over 200 grams of what is presumed to be fentanyl at a home in Fairfield. The Fairfield Police Department says they were called to a house on the Green Road Friday for a complaint regarding the stolen power and the theft of a utility meter. The homeowner was found to have an outstanding warrant, and upon a search of the home, the department reportedly found evidence of drug trafficking and what police are calling large quantities of what appeared to be stolen property from previously reported burglaries. 2 people inside the home, Jonathan Caswell and Randy Goldsmith, were taken into custody, and both are facing charges. Fairfield police expect the investigation to take several weeks while the stolen property is identified and returned to its owners. In the wake of the Lewiston mass shootings, gun safety advocates rallied in Augusta, calling on lawmakers to take action. Here's a closer look.
Hundreds gathered in Augusta's Capitol Park Saturday. Advocates, lawmakers, and students came together to call for more gun restrictions in Maine.
Maine's gun laws are too lax, and we lulled ourselves into a false sense of security.
We'd ask probably for a red flag law as opposed to the watered down yellow flag law, universal background checks, 72-hour waiting periods. We're considering an assault weapons ban. I think that we really need to look at all the options.
The rally comes just over a week after 18 people were killed and 13 others were injured in the Lewiston mass shootings on October 25th. Students who were on lockdown at Lewiston's Bates College during the time of the shootings joined in the rally.
It's been a tough last week and a half now, but it's nice to see people gathered out here in support of this cause.
The big thing on campus right now is looking for change to happen, and to see people actively working towards that it brings hope.
Lewiston Representative Margaret Craven called on her fellow lawmakers when she spoke to the crowd.
As a legislator, we can and must do more to dig in, reduce the prevalence of these weapons of war, and put a stop to the unnecessary carnage that destroys families and communities. I can promise you that I, along with so many of my colleagues, will continue to do whatever is in our power to fight for change. It is our responsibility to do all that we can to make our community safer.
In Augusta, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
1 person is dead following a house fire in Carmel on Friday. According to the Carmel Fire Department, crews responded to a home on Haskell Road at around 3 p.m. for a reported structure fire.
The center of the building was fully involved. It was extending into the 2 ends of the building.
Authorities have since confirmed that the homeowner, believed to be 70-year-old Joseph Jack, died as a result of the fire, and the home has been deemed a total loss. The cause of the fire is being investigated by the Maine Fire Marshal's office, but there is no indication of foul play. A Smyrna man has been arrested for arson following a fire inside of the Bangor Walmart Friday evening. The Bangor Police Department says the fire started just before 6 o'clock in the menswear section. Despite heavy smoke, no injuries were reported, and all
pretty significant loss with the smoke
were accounted for, according to the Bangor fire officials. After reviewing security footage, investigators from the Fire Marshal's office and Bangor detectives identified Lucas Landry. Let's pop up his mugshot again, please. Okay, I guess we don't have that. Lucas Landry as a suspicious person who was in the vicinity of the fire when it started. Landry was arrested at his home Saturday afternoon and charged with 1 count of arson, a Class A felony, as well as violation of probation. The fire remains under investigation. In other news now, daylight savings came to an end yesterday, and firefighters are reminding Mainers that as you go to turn your clocks back, it's also time to check on other devices in your home to help keep your family safe. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
The number one thing that can save your life in a fire is a smoke detector going off.
As heating season approaches, local firefighters are urging homeowners to take the time to ensure they have properly working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors.
Change your clocks, change your batteries. That would be twice a year. Make sure that your equipment's working right. So even if you're not changing the battery, still check your detector.
Lieutenant Titus with the Bangor Fire Department says having working detectors can be critical for surviving a fire.
Too often we have to go to fatal fires and find no working smoke detectors in the home, and that's not just here, that's nationwide.
He says they typically see an uptick in calls as it gets colder and the heaters turn on.
Heating season, it's always good to have had fresh service on your boilers. Chimneys should be cleaned before you start firing up appliances.
And the Bangor Fire Department says taking these preventative safety steps not only makes the lives easier of the firefighters, but also helps to save lives.
Whatever you can do to prevent a fire is much better than trying to survive a fire.
More safety tips can be found on our website at foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A man convicted of stabbing another man to death had his sentence partially reduced on Friday. Here's more.
The sentence in this matter will be 30 years.
In 2021, Rayshawn Moore was sentenced to serve 32 years at the Maine State Prison for stabbing and killing Demetrius Snow in the parking lot of the now-closed Half-Acre nightclub in 2020. Friday, Moore's sentence was reduced by 2 years at a resentencing hearing. Maine's Supreme Judicial Court ordered the resentencing earlier this year, ruling that Superior Court Justice William Anderson should not have considered Moore's decision to go to trial as a possible aggravating factor. Moore's defense attorney argued for a 25-year sentence, and Moore himself made an apology to the family.
He's done quite a bit towards rehabilitation over the last 2 years during his time at the prison. He's shown remorse for the event that evening. He took it upon himself to turn himself in initially for this offense.
I would like to apologize to the victim's family. I don't consider myself a bad person. I make mistakes, but I'm always going to learn from them, and I'm always going to try to be a better person.
However, Justice Ann Murray ultimately ruled on a 30-year sentence based on a variety of other factors, including the impact on the victim's family and Snow's pain and suffering. Prosecuting attorney Lisa Bogue says she respects the resentencing decision and hopes that now the victim's family will have closure.
The victim impact is an important part of what the court considers, and Demetrius had a big family and he had a lot of family support, and they're just glad to be able to move on, and I'm glad for that for them too. Hopefully we have sort of settled this and they can move on as a family.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, now the time is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, excuse me, we'll have more coming up, but before we go, let's take another look at that forecast. Mostly cloudy today, high of 43 degrees, dropping down to 34 tonight. Yep, we may see some snow and rain overnight. Tomorrow, though, it'll turn to rain. It'll be breezy. Highs will be about 55 degrees. We'll be right back.
Look who's waking up with GMA this week. The Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey, Megan Fox.
Good morning, America.
Luke Bryan.
Good morning, America.
And Peyton Manning kicking off the CMAs. All this week on
GMA.
Good morning, America.
A texting driver hit me, and the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
You gave the cats to him. Now, he's asked for his cats and he hasn't gotten them back.
He was not a good parent. He abandoned them.
I love my cats.
You're making jokes about your cat getting into acrylic. That terrifies me.
Hot Bench. Monday at 3 on ABC 7.
A pro-Palestine rally in downtown Bangor on Friday saw dozens gathering to advocate for peace. Our Callie Warren takes us to the protest.
What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now!
To this group of protesters, ceasing fire means choosing peace. A group of individuals from all over gathered in downtown Bangor on Friday evening to advocate for Palestine. Organizers say the purpose of the rally is to help people empathize with others, even thousands of miles away.
It's just a sense of solidarity. It's been said that injustice everywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so injustice in Palestine is a threat to justice here in the United States.
While some protesters were simply standing in solidarity, others have personal ties to the violence in the Middle East.
I'm normally feeling very alone in this because there aren't many Palestinians in the area that we're in. But having a community come together like this, it means togetherness.
In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
We are just days away from Maine's election, of course, it's tomorrow, which features 4 contentious referendum questions. Our Grace Blanchard gives us a full breakdown of ballot question number 2.
Question 2 asks voters if they want to limit foreign governments or entities that they own from influencing Maine elections. It would ban them from making campaign contributions or financing communications for or against candidates or ballot questions.
A yes vote on question 2 will close the loophole that currently allows foreign governments to spend in Maine elections and return our elections to the Maine voters.
A federal law currently allows foreign governments to be involved in referendum campaigns at state and local levels. Supporters of question 2 say this referendum would close that, quote, loophole.
Government-owned entities have spent over $100 million in just the last 3 years in Maine referendum elections. The stakes are really high.
The question has received large bipartisan support in Maine's legislature. Many in favor of banning foreign spending say this question is critical to protecting Maine elections.
Question 2 will not change any rules for any pending referendum campaigns. It is forward-looking and will protect for generations our democracy from foreign influence.
Those opposed say provisions in the proposed law would restrict political speech, violating First Amendment rights.
Question 2 is approved by voters. That it's not going to survive a court battle because it is a First Amendment issue.
Provisions of question 2 would require news outlets to determine whether an advertising communication on their platform is paid for by a foreign government-owned company or organization, ultimately putting the responsibility on those outlets.
To say that for a buy for a commercial campaign, that entity, that radio television station now has to become a detective agency, essentially.
This legislation was vetoed by Governor Mills in July. The governor said she felt the language was, quote, too broad and would likely result in the unintended consequence of effectively silencing legitimate voices, including Maine-based businesses, in debates that would impact their interests. Supporters say the ultimate objective is to curb spending on elections by corporations with foreign ownership.
Regardless of where you are in the state or what your political affiliation is, most Maine voters understand that we cannot allow foreign governments to participate and to influence our elections.
More information about the referendum question can be found on our website, foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And we have all sorts of information about the election up on our website, foxbangor.com, so make sure to check it out. The time now is 6:18. After the break, sports betting is now legal in Maine as of Friday. We'll get the details as Good Morning Maine continues.
He had a bad fight.
A couple's relationship hits a new low.
She discharged a can of pepper spray.
And he wiped it off the side of his face and wiped it down my face. Something wrong with the two of you. I'm washing out my eyes. And he pushes me out of the way, which pushes me into my daughter, which pushes her into the wall. All this happened in front of 3 children, screaming and yelling and pulling and pushing.
Next, Judge Judy.
Monday at 5, only on ABC7.
Maine, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. Anytime and anywhere across the state. So get hyped, Maine. Download the app today and get this exclusive offer now. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer.
with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to snow blowers, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hank's Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
Aroostook Band of Micmacs, Penobscot Nation, and Holton Band of Maliseet celebrated the official launch of online sports betting for all Mainers. Our Doug Banks has the story.
The time for new opportunities begins today, as Penobscot Nation, Aroostook Band of Micmacs, and Holton Band of Maliseet announced their partnership with Caesars Sportsbook, kicking off the future of online sports betting in Maine.
The tribes have really been trying to regain the ability to gamble. Game is restrictive, but it's a step in the right direction.
Certain revenue percentages will be going back to the state, but more importantly, some of the revenue made will be going back into helping their own community.
With the revenue, we can start working on building more homes for our people, doing things of, helping with our community that, we do struggle with.
The revenue will help us invest in social services and healthcare and education.
As the second hand moves ahead, so do Maine's tribal communities.
This isn't about, piling up cash and counting profits. This is about growing our government operations in an unrestricted way and being able to focus on the real needs of the tribe.
On Indian Island, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 6:22. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. As we get into things this morning, we have some advisories posted. This right here is a small credit advisory, and that right there is a gale watch. Both these are up until 4 p.m. as we head towards Tuesday. As we're watching for active surf, that will be common with some gusty winds as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. Wave heights aren't bad just yet, though. They're right around 3 to 4 feet, so a little bit active, but they are expected to get a little bit higher moving forward as we head towards Tuesday. Otherwise, though, nothing too crazy going on, at least for the time being. Just some clouds moving through from the west. Going toward the east, there's actually an area of high pressure not too far away, but despite that, though, we will be watching for increasing clouds as we head towards the afternoon period. With all this activity right about in here, they'll be moving from the west and going toward the east. That'll give us some rain chances, though, and maybe some snow chances in a few areas further north as we head towards the daytime tomorrow, or should I say later on tonight and parts of tomorrow as well. So let's break all this down with Futurecast. So increasing clouds will be common for us today. You notice the clouds stick around later on tonight. There is some rain showers possible, maybe some snow showers further off towards the north. Most of that begins later on tonight, lasting through parts of tomorrow morning. Gradually switching over to all rain with warming temperatures on the way. We'll have more rain showers possible as we head towards Tuesday evening, though. Then once things move through again, as we head towards early Wednesday morning, the clouds starting to break up a little bit with a partly cloudy sky and rather windy out there as we move forward as well. And again, as we watch out for some of the rainfall, nothing too extreme, maybe up to 0.2 of an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Nothing too extreme. You might get a little bit of snow further off towards the north, but with the warming temperatures on the way, whatever falls will melt rather quickly. Otherwise, though, as we move forward, we're also going to be keeping an eye on the gusty winds from time to time, too. Not so much today, but later on tonight, though, there's some of those winds reaching up to maybe 15 miles per hour. But tomorrow, 25 to even 35 mile per hour gusts are possible in a few spots, so be ready for the winds as you do move forward. Average high temperature is now 50 degrees. We'll do the lower 40s today. The middle 50s Tuesday. We're back in the 40s, so Wednesday, all the way through the next several days, so at least through Sunday as the 40s return, maybe mid-40s by Friday, but otherwise we're staying cool as we do move forward. For today, though, lower 40s, mostly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Overnight tonight, though, not bad. Again, 34 degrees, rain and snow showers on the way, moving in late. Let southeast wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 50s, rain showers on the way. It will be breezy out there. Let south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast for partly cloudy on Wednesday with highs in the low 40s. Rain and snow showers possible on Thursday, highs in the low 40s. And middle 40s Friday with a chance for rain yet again.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reaction, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC7. Sports Blitz brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money, and I'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Another client had a brain injury, and we got them $1.15 million. If you get hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily. We offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. The war between Israel and Hamas has been raging for more than a month now, with no immediate solution in sight. Overnight, Israel saying they have cut the Gaza Strip in two, surrounding Gaza City ahead of an expected ground operation. Here at home, large protests over the weekend in Washington demanding a ceasefire in the conflict. Liz Landers is in D.C. with the latest.
The conflict in the Middle East intensifying as the war between Israel and Hamas has reached a 5th week of fighting. This video taken from southern Israel showing explosions and flares in Gaza, rocking the small strip overnight as Israel's offensive continues. As their troops build a larger presence on the ground in Gaza, the Israeli Defense Forces claim that they have cut the densely populated area into two and created a, quote, humanitarian corridor for civilians. The death toll, though, climbs to more than 9,700 Palestinians, according to Palestinian health officials, as the pressure is mounting on the Biden administration to lower tensions. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in the region once more, making a surprise visit to the West Bank, where he met with Palestinian Authority President Abbas. Blinken told reporters,
following my conversations with the Prime Minister and with the Israeli government, this is a process. Israel's raised important questions about how humanitarian pauses would work. We've got to answer those questions. We're working on exactly that. In fact, we agreed that our teams would get together, and they're doing just that. It's important that the pause advance a number of things. One of them is hostages.
As the Arab world calls for a ceasefire, the president and his team making it clear that they believe Israel has a right to defend itself, but supports a long-term solution for Palestinians living in Gaza and the West Bank.
That means resuming the urgent work of giving a political horizon to the Palestinian people, which to President Biden means a two-state solution.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there will be no ceasefire without the return of the more than 240 hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza.
Now to Boston and the search for a suspected killer. Police believe after stabbing his girlfriend, he took off for Africa. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, an international manhunt to find a Massachusetts man suspected of fatally stabbing his girlfriend, whose body was found at Boston's Logan Airport.
Maggie was a ray of sunshine in everybody's life.
Her laugh was contagious. Everybody knows that.
Maggie Mbichu's family reported her missing last Monday, and on Wednesday, the 31-year-old's body was found inside her vehicle in the airport parking garage. Police have identified 40-year-old Kevin Kangathe as the suspect. They say he was seen on the surveillance video and boarded a plane to Kenya shortly after the killing. Mbichu's family gathered last night to remember her as a caring nurse, beloved by all who knew her.
We want this guy arrested as soon as possible so that we know that the process of justice is beginning so that our healing can start.
Massachusetts police have issued an arrest warrant for Kangathe. They're now working with authorities in Kenya to find him. The U.S. does have an extradition treaty with Kenya, so experts say it's likely Kenyan authorities will cooperate in trying to find Kangathe.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to take the witness stand at his fraud trial today. It follows testimony last week from his two sons. His daughter Ivanka is scheduled to testify on Wednesday. Trump's legal woes do not seem to be hurting his campaign, though. A new poll shows Trump leading President Biden in nearly every battleground state, with voters concerned about the economy. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
Former President Donald Trump is set to take the stand today in his own defense at his civil fraud trial in New York. Trump reportedly telling advisors he's not concerned about testifying. The New York Times says Trump has held multiple preparation sessions. There won't be any cameras in the court today for his testimony.
I declined to answer the question.
During his deposition last year, Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment hundreds of times and read a statement attacking New York Attorney General Letitia James, who is expected to call him to the witness stand today.
We cannot permit a renegade and out-of-control prosecutor to use this investigation as a means of advancing her political career.
The judge already determined Trump overstated his net worth by as much as $2.2 billion. But now the Attorney General is seeking $250 million in damages and wants to prohibit Trump from doing business in New York.
The more that the former president says and goes into, the more record he creates that can be used against him, frankly, in this case and potentially in the other cases that are pending against him. And remember, those other cases are criminal cases.
Trump stormed out of court last month after the judge fined him $15,000 for twice violating a gag order. The case is unfolding with 1 year to go until Election Day.
Trump is getting some bad news ahead of testimony today. The governor of Iowa is expected to endorse Ron DeSantis today, not Trump.
All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, a craft fair in Orrington let shoppers travel back to the turn of the century over the weekend. We'll check out this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs.
Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Question 3 is too costly and too risky.
It's a $13.5 billion gamble that puts politicians in charge.
It will increase our electric bills.
We can't afford higher electric bills. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. No plan to keep the lights on?
Not even for emergencies or power outages.
That's a bad idea.
Mainers can't afford this costly proposal.
I'm voting no on 3. It's a risk we can't afford.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
Monday Night Football goes coast to coast. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are powering up. Can Garrett Wilson and the Jets land another win? Chargers-Jets, tonight at 8 on ABC.
Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs.
Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Monday, November 6th, 2023, and today is National Nachos Day. Anticlimactic, I know, but it's days like these which remind us of the beauty in the little things, like chips and hot cheese. Okay, now for some history, let's dive right in. On this day in 1860, Republican Abraham Lincoln of Illinois was elected as the 16th President of the United States. 6 years later, in 1869, the United States saw its first college football game. With players using their hands or their feet, Rutgers ousted Princeton 6-4. In 1917, the second phase of the Russian Revolution of 1917 began as the Bolsheviks seized power in Russia. This effectively abolished the Russian monarchy and established a socialist form of government. Decades later, in 1941, in the middle of World War II, it's on record that the U.S. lends the Soviet Union $1 million. And in 1984, incumbent Republican President Ronald Reagan was reelected in a landslide vote, winning 49 states, defeating Democrat Walter Mondale. And for birthdays today, I do see a trend here with these birthdays. They're all actors, it seems. Actress Emma Stone is 35 today. Actor and writer Ethan Hawke is 53, and Sally Field is 77 today. All sorts of talent today. Okay, moving right along, kind of a quick midpoint today. It's definitely a Monday. Let's send it over to Devin Biggs to see, apparently there may be a wintry mix tonight, so let's get the lowdown on that.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scotch Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. As we get into things this morning, we have advisories posted. This is a gale watch here and a small craft advisory both posted along the coast, lasting until 4 p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday. Gusty winds will make the ocean very active moving forward, so we'll want to be careful along the ocean areas as we do move forward. Radar and satellite, some clouds moving through this morning. A mixture of clouds and sunshine will be common to start things off. We'll be watching out for even more cloud cover as we head towards the afternoon period. As we do zoom things out, though, we have an area of high pressure just off to the north. But despite that, though, we are still watching for some clouds that are developing this morning. Some precipitation off toward the west, but for now, we are staying dry, at least in the short term. So increasing clouds will be common throughout the daytime period today, with rain showers, maybe a few snow showers to the north possible overnight tonight as we head towards early tomorrow morning. So we'll be watching for some precipitation that will be moving in by that point. On top of that, watching out for a little bit of wind from time to time. Not so much today, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight and parts of tomorrow, some winds up to 15, even 25 miles per hour will be common in a few areas. So for today, lower 40s and a mostly cloudy sky with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, increasing clouds on the way, temperatures warming into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Definitely a good day for layers, getting colder as the days go on. Okay, each year, the East Orrington Congregational Church holds a craft fair, but with a twist. The church transforms their fellowship hall into an old general store from the turn of the century. There, you can find a whole assortment of crafts, art, baked goods, and much more.
I have to say, this is probably my favorite event here at the church, by far. For a church craft fair, it's very unique. The items that we offer, the variety of fresh things that we offer is a little bit different.
All the proceeds raised will go towards allowing community members and groups to enjoy the space free of charge for meetings and events. Organizers say what separates church fairs from other fairs is everything that's sold is made by members of the church or the surrounding community.
It's different from most craft fairs. Sometimes, it's crazy, but it's wonderful.
The fair runs on Friday ran on Friday from 3 to 7:30, and that included a turkey dinner. And on Saturday from 11 to noon. Tickets will be sold, they were sold at the door. Okay, still to come here this morning. Ryan Sudol will have the latest with sports, including all the details on state championships, which were on Saturday. Don't go away.
At Living Innovations, we build community. You can be a part of it. We put supporting people first, and that builds a caring community within our workforce and for the people we serve. Living Innovations supports people with disabilities and has flexible work opportunities available. You could become a shared living provider and work from home, or help support people to be active in the community. To learn more, visit livinginnovations.com and check out our employment and home provider opportunities. Become a part of Living Innovations and be part of a community with a purpose.
Maine, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. Anytime and anywhere across the state. So get hyped, Maine. Download the app today and get this exclusive offer now. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident and needed lots of medical treatment, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't accept this tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Local news weeknights at 6 with Beth Jones and Peter Dubois on ABC 7.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with some cross country. The MPA State Cross Country Championships being held Saturday down at Belfast's Troy Howard Middle School. Let's check out Class B boys here. It may be Northern Territory, but the South came to play. Each of the top 21 runners in B boys, all from South schools, with Lake Region's Sam Laverdiere winning his first state title at 15:52:36. After the race, Laverdiere saying how proud he is to represent his region with all it has gone through in recent weeks.
What happened last week, I think I can speak for the whole group that, you know, we want to go out here and make our state proud. I live just 10 minutes from Lewiston, and, you know, it makes me feel really good that I can go out there and win something for them.
Great young man right there. Okay, now let's go to the individual results. Class A, Maddox Jordan winning from Noble over Nathan Blades from Portland and Xavier Lemieux from Bonnie Eagle. Samantha Moore from Portland wins the girls' race over Addie Thibodeau from Bonnie Eagle and Maeve Woodruff from Brunswick. And for the team results in Class A, Portland wins over Scarborough and Camden Hills for the boys. And in girls, Bonnie Eagle over Camden Hills and Portland. Over to Class B now. Sam Laverdiere, of course, as you saw, winning the boys' race. Carter Libby from Grey New Gloucester in second. Alex Gilbert from Freeport in third. Carrie Drake from York wins the girls' individual race over Amelia Van Doggen from MDI and Shaylin Brochu from Morse. And to the team results for Class B, Freeport wins boys over York and Greeley, and York wins girls over Greeley and Lincoln Academy. And now to Class C. Caleb Colson wins his first state title from Sumner over Christopher Pottle from Winthrop and Will Hyman from Bucksport. And over in girls, Ruth White, her third consecutive Class C girls individual title over T.N. Ewings from Holton and Soren Stark-Chessa from Maine Coast Waldorf. And for the team results for Class C, Sumner over Orono and George Stevens for boys, and Orono girls wins their sixth straight championship over Waynfleet and Holton. Okay, now let's go to some UMaine football. Black Bears holding their senior day Saturday. They host Hampton in their final home game of the year. There were a bunch of fireworks in this one, folks. Let's start first quarter. Derek Robertson looking near side, and he's got Rohan Jones one-on-one in the end zone for the touchdown. Black Bears up 7-0. Next drive for Hampton. The give here to Darren Butts, and you can almost kiss his goodbye, making some nice moves here as he gets a crease down the sideline all the way down to the main 7-yard line. Hampton later scores a touchdown, and we are tied. Second quarter, Robertson going to find Jones again, this time in the flat, and he dives across for 6. Black Bears up 14-7 after the PAT, 28-14 at the half, but the Pirates stage a comeback and win 42-35. Okay, now to some high school football playoff action. All games this week being played on Saturday. Let's start with the B North semifinal between 4-seed Gardner and top seed Lawrence. Lawrence looking to continue their dominant hot streak. First quarter, Lawrence leads 7-0. Gardner's Asher Nagy, his pass here is going to be picked off by Colby Neto, and he takes it all the way back for a pick six. Dogs up 14-0 after the PAT. Still first, Nagy with some redemption here. Gets it downfield to Zach Christian. A great catch, and he's down near the goal line, but Lawrence makes a stand. A couple drives later, Michael Hamlin. He's going to roll out and find Lucas Proctor wide open in the end zone. It's 28-0 Lawrence, and they go on to win 42-7. They advance to the B North final. Now to a D North semifinal. 2-seed John Bapps hosting 6-seed Old Town, fresh off the Coyotes' upset win last week. Opening kickoff. Old Town's Kobe Beals on the return, and the ball is forced out by Malcolm Butler, and on the recovery, it's Anis Omar, the kicker. How about that? That sets up a Bapps touchdown. Second quarter, Old Town trailing, but getting back in it here. Right up the gut goes James Renzo, and he is in. Bapps up 13-6. Next drive for Bapps. Crusaders threatening, and Hayden Rollins on the rush gets in from about 10 yards out. His second of the half. Crusaders up 20-6, and they go on to win 28-14 to make the D North final. And let's wrap things up with the state field hockey championships down in Lewiston Saturday. We've got all three games for you here. Let's start over in Class B. South Champs Freeport against North Champs Coney. First quarter off a corner. Here comes Freeport's Emily Groves on the doorstep right there. She fires in the rebound, and Freeport leads 1-0. Second quarter, Falcons again, and this time it's Sophia Bradford in front. She'll deflect it home, giving Freeport a 2-0 lead. Fourth quarter now, still 2-0. Rams storming the net, but Freeport goalie Maddie Kryzak coming up with a huge save. She had a bunch of saves in the second half as Freeport hangs on to win Class B 2-0 over Coney. Now to the Class A final, defending champ Skowhegan against unbeaten Chevrolet. First quarter, no score. Stags on the attack. Watch number 13, Michaela Talbot. She's in front and fires one home, giving Chevrolet a 1-0 lead. Under 10 seconds left in the half, Skowhegan off a corner. A wild scene in front, but Layla Conway is going to poke it in for the Riverhawks. We are tied up at 1. Late in the fourth now, still tied at 1. Chevrolet's Lucy Johnson with some nice moves on the charge, and she nails one top shelf to give them the lead with 58 seconds left. The Stags hang on to win Class A 2-1 over Skowhegan, their second title in 3 years. And now over to Class C. Winthrop taking on Dexter. Second quarter, no score until Winthrop's Madeline Wagner flies in and rips it home, giving the Ramblers a 1-0 lead. Second quarter, Winthrop's going to look to extend the lead here, but Sonny Batchy coming up with a nice stop for Dexter. However, Wagner would score one more late, and the Ramblers win Class C 2-1 over Dexter. Let us all inhale and exhale. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Sample and savor the very best in all we produce here in Maine at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 18th and 19th, presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota Equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
The big automakers want a monopoly on your car repairs. That's why they're starting to restrict access to your car's mechanical data. But voting yes on question 4, right to repair, will stop them. Hundreds of local independent repair shops across Maine urge yes on 4, because yes on 4 will protect consumer choice and save thousands of Maine jobs.
It's your car. It should be your choice where to fix it.
Vote yes on question 4. Yes on right to repair.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 18th and 19th. Presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Striking actors are taking time to respond to a best and final offer from Hollywood studios. The Screen Actors Guild, also SAG-AFTRA, received a proposal from the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers on Saturday. The Actors Union says it needs time to discuss the offer before it can give an official response, which could come as early as today. The offer includes what the studios are calling historic wage increases, protections against artificial intelligence, and a new way to determine residuals from streaming services. Reports say the studios might not be willing to compromise more if this offer is rejected. A lot of changes coming in that industry. I know artificial intelligence could have changed everything for them because AI can write stories itself. Okay, moving right along now, I think it's time to get one last look at that forecast for this hour at least. So if you want to check out that forecast in this hour, here's a last look with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. As we get into things this morning, we have some advisories posted. This right here is a small credit advisory, and that right there is a gale watch. Both of these are up until 4 p.m. as we head towards Tuesday. As we're watching for active surf, that will be common with some gusty winds as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. Wave heights aren't bad just yet, though. They're right around 3 to 4 feet, so a little bit active, but they are expected to get a little bit higher moving forward as we head towards Tuesday. Otherwise, though, nothing too crazy going on, at least for the time being. Just some clouds moving through from the west. Going toward the east, there's actually an area of high pressure not too far away, but despite that, though, we will be watching for increasing clouds as we head towards the afternoon period. With all this activity right about in here, they'll be moving from the west and going toward the east. That'll give us some rain chances, though, and maybe some snow chances in a few areas further north as we head towards the daytime tomorrow, or should I say later on tonight and parts of tomorrow as well. So let's break all this down with Futurecast. So increasing clouds will be common for us today. You notice the clouds stick around later on tonight. There is some rain showers possible, maybe some snow showers further off towards the north. Most of that begins later on tonight, lasting through parts of tomorrow morning. Gradually switching over to all rain with warming temperatures on the way. We'll have more rain showers possible as we head towards Tuesday evening, though. Then once things move through, again, as we head towards early Wednesday morning, the clouds starting to break up a little bit with a partly cloudy sky and rather windy out there as we move forward as well. And again, as we watch out for some of the rainfall, nothing too extreme, maybe up to 0.2 of an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Nothing too extreme. You might get a little bit of snow further off towards the north, but with the warming temperatures on the way, whatever falls will melt rather quickly. Otherwise, as we move forward, we're also going to be keeping an eye on the gusty winds from time to time too. Not so much today, but later on tonight, though, there's some of those winds reaching up to maybe 15 miles per hour. But tomorrow, 25 to even 35 mile per hour gusts are possible in a few spots, so be ready for the winds as you do move forward. Average high temperature is now 50 degrees. We'll do the lower 40s today. The middle 50s Tuesday. We're back in the 40s, so Wednesday, all the way through the next several days, so at least through Sunday as the 40s return, maybe mid-40s by Friday, but otherwise we're staying cool as we do move forward. For today, though, lower 40s, mostly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Overnight tonight, though, not bad. Again, 34 degrees, rain and snow showers on the way, moving in late. Let southeast wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 50s, rain showers on the way. It will be breezy out there. Let south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast for partly cloudy on Wednesday with highs in the low 40s. Rain and snow showers possible on Thursday, highs in the low 40s. And middle 40s Friday with a chance for rain yet again.
There's too much uncertainty around Pine Tree Power.
It's a mystery bag that will cost Mainers billions.
It will mean tremendous uncertainty for workers, say Maine's labor leaders.
Business leaders say it will mean higher rates with no guarantee of better service.
And Governor Mills says, let's not gamble with our future. Vote no on question 3.
Please join leading Maine voices and vote no on 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
The Old Mill Pub in Skowhegan is an historic restaurant and bar overlooking the Kennebec River. Enjoy the atmosphere while dining on local handcrafted pub fare, as well as Maine beers and craft cocktails. Also offering bar and catering services for your event or holiday party.
For the first time, the Maine Association of Broadcasters named a television station of the year for excellence. ABC7 and Fox 22 are honored to be the very first station awarded this achievement.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
It's music video night on Dancing with the Stars.
Will your favorites make the list?
And Paula Abdul joins as guest judge.
Dancing with the Stars, live Tuesday on ABC and Disney+.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. NASA is releasing a new app to help fans find the International Space Station as it streaks across the sky. The new app is called Spot the Station. NASA says its new app features augmented reality interface to make it easier to locate the ISS. Wish I knew what that was. I'm not that smart. It also has options for picture and video sharing when you spot it in real time. The new app improves NASA's already existing Spot the Station website. It's also available on iOS and Android devices and comes in time to celebrate the International Space Station's 25th anniversary. Maybe they should find a way to let people know when Aurora Borealis will streak across the skies too. I know some people in Maine were able to see that in the past 24 hours, it seems like. I don't know. I just saw Facebook photos. Very cool. Okay, moving on now. A homeowner in San Francisco woke up to an unexpected guest on his patio, a coyote sunbathing in one of his chairs. The canine, who appears to be quite comfortable on the outdoor furniture, made zero effort to flee when the homeowner approached. The homeowner contacted animal care and control authorities to make sure the young pup was okay and left safely. Animal control officials say the coyote reluctantly walked to the edge of the yard, which was connected to a wooded area, and hopped back into the brush. They also say this is usually the time when young pups start leaving their home dens, looking for a mate to start a den of their own. If he were in Maine, he would be dead. That coyote would not last. Okay, on that note, we're wrapping up the show. If you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. Good Morning America is next on ABC7. You can stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. We'll have a live interview about Veterans Day stuff going on UMaine. We'll be right back.